welcome back to another day of Vlogmas here on my channel, where I'm uploading a new video every day right up until Christmas Eve. Today I am finally getting around to filming a pretty highly requested video, and it's going to be all about why I moved to Kuwait. You guys are so curious as to why I made this move, how it came about. What were you thinking? Is it okay? Are you happy? Are your family happy? And I get so many questions about it, and so many of you have asked me to just make a video about, I guess, my thought process in moving to the Middle East and like how that happened and how did it turn out, I guess. So those are the things that I'm going to be talking about today. It's going to be pretty chilled. I don't really have any idea of what I'm going to say. I don't have any notes. So if you guys are ready to hear some unprepared ramblings, you're in the right place. So the first thing that people really tend to ask me, now that I'm here, but also before I moved here as well, when I would tell them that I was moving to Kuwait, would be like, why Kuwait of all places in the world? When I was doing my PGCE and training to be a teacher, I knew that I wanted to travel when I was qualified. I knew that if you're a teacher, you get a lot of opportunities to go and work in like far-flung places in the world, and that really appealed to me. I love to travel. Don't know if you've noticed, but I love to live a very unconventional life. I don't like the idea of just like sitting in one place and doing the same thing all of the time. And with teaching, it just feels a lot more fluid. There are a lot of opportunities out there, and that was one of the things that kind of decided for me that I was going to go back to school and train to be a teacher in the first place. And so while I was training to be a teacher, I kind of had that view in mind, but I was planning on staying at home for the first year to kind of get my, in the UK they call it an NQT year, where you have to do a year as a trained teacher before you're like a proper teacher. So I was gonna stay in the UK, do that, and then I really wanted to move to Thailand. I don't know why. Thailand just, it spoke to me, and it still speaks to me. I would still like to go there in the future and work there. I had this whole plan in place, like I'm gonna do my PGCE year, and then I'm gonna go work in Thailand, frolic with the elephants, find some inner peace, and like live my best life. And then one of my friends who I was doing my PGCE with got a job in Kuwait, and she had super positive things to say. She was going to go out and work for a British school, and the things they were offering her were amazing. The pay was like infinitely better than the pay you would get like as a newly trained teacher at home, and she was going to get this like free apartment with a maid and like a travel allowance every year, and I was like, that sounds like what I need in my life. So I didn't even really give it a lot of thought, which is, like I said, that's just how I live my life. I'm just like, yeah, okay, Kuwait sounds good, see you there. And I just started randomly applying to a bunch of schools in Kuwait with no real thought that like, yes, I definitely want to go there. I was like, I'll just apply and see what happens. The very first school I applied for, I got the job within 2 days after applying for it. They were like, we want to offer you the job. We're going to send you out an offer that you can sign, and then like, blah, 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 you'll move to Kuwait in August. And I was like, oh, wait, this means I might actually have to move to Kuwait. So I sat down with my parents and I was like, okay, I'm working in a different school to the one my friend is working in. The benefits are not so all singing, all dancing, I'm not gonna lie, but it is still significantly better money-wise than it would be at home, just because of the exchange rate. So when I take the money that I earn here and put it into my British account, because of the exchange rate, it works out as being more than it would be at home. So that was obviously a major draw to working in Kuwait. I mean, the downside to that is because of the exchange rate, everything is more expensive here. Like the cost of living is very high. Don't know if I've mentioned that before, but it is very expensive. I think I've mentioned it several thousand times. And that's just because I'm constantly like doing that conversion in my head, because I eventually intend on taking that money back into pounds. I'm constantly thinking as if it's in pounds, which is a very confusing and tiring way to live your life because it's so much maths, but it means that I'm constantly like, what, £10 for pancakes? What are you talking about? And so obviously when you see like a financial opportunity and you're like, this could set me up for life, that's very appealing. But while that side of things was obviously like a big factor, more so I was interested in just like getting out and experiencing the world. Like, I had never been to the Middle East before I came here, and there's a good chance that if I hadn't moved to Kuwait, I never would have come to the Middle East. So I was like, oh well, hey, if I go live in Kuwait, I'll get to experience this place that I don't really know anything about. It'll be a really great learning opportunity, and it's gonna be, you know, very different culturally, and that can only be a good thing. I think exposing yourself to new cultures that are very different is good for you because it kind of forces you out of your comfort zone. But above everything else, I think the main draw for me to move to Kuwait was, look where it is on the map. I mean, this is somewhere that is super close to all of the places that I've been desperate to visit. It means that flights to places like India and Bali and Thailand are going to be so much shorter and therefore so much cheaper. And as someone who just wants to like get out, live life, see the world, that is like a big thing. If you're not that kind of person, then it's very difficult to understand that whole thought process, and you're like, you are crazy. So I get that. I get that people thought that I was crazy. My parents are used to me, obviously, because they've lived with me for 26 years. They know I am a crazy person. They know that I'm pretty just impulsive with decisions like this, that I'll be like, oh hey, today I decided I want to move to the Middle East and I'm leaving tomorrow. And they're like, okay, well, that's what it is. Obviously, they're gonna miss me. They were worried about me. I'm gonna be so far away. Like, all of these things were obviously going on in their minds, but they never once said like, don't go. That's not true. The day before I left, my mom was like, don't go. But generally they were like, no, this is a really good thing for you. Like, you'll get to go out there, do the things you want to do, meet new people, and like have a good time experiencing life. And for me, like, that is an important thing. I'm a millennial, what can I say? I just want to live life, and they get that. So even though they were like sad to see me go and worried, obviously, they were so supportive. And now I'm here, and I've been here for near enough 4 months, and I feel completely settled now. I don't feel homesick. I didn't feel homesick when I first got here, actually, and I didn't really feel that kind of jarring culture shock. It would just come out every now and then where I'd be like, I live in Kuwait. But on the day-to-day, I just kind of like got up and got on with it, and I feel like I acclimatized very well to living in a different culture and being in a different place without any of, you know, my family and friends. Only within the last kind of maybe 4 weeks, I've started to really miss people and really miss being at home. I'm content here. And yes, I'm looking forward to going home for Christmas. I'm counting down the days. That's just because I miss my friends and family. Like, it's not because I'm like, see ya, suckers. I'm just excited to see the people I miss, and that's not unreasonable. So in summary, I moved to Kuwait because I am a crazy millennial and I'm trying to experience life to its fullest. My parents were obviously very sad to see me go, but super supportive. And now that I'm here, I'm loving life. I'm living it up. I'm enjoying myself. And I can't wait to see what the next couple of months bring. I hope that maybe answered some of your questions. It felt like a lot of feelings were just shouted at you. So don't know if that did actually answer any questions, but I hope it did. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please go ahead and give it a thumbs up to let me know. And please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already to become a member of our Oddball family. For those of you who have already subscribed, thank you guys so much. You are my oddballs and I love you. But until next time, I hope you are all having a beautiful day. Don't forget to pop back tomorrow for another Vlogmas video. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all soon. Bye.